Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic.
Your eyes look beautiful today.
Why, thank you.
Well, they look beautiful every day, but they just look more beautifuler today for some reason. Maybe it's the lighting in
I got
there.
some new mascara.
Is that what it is?
Probably.
Okay,
It's
well,
the only
there-
change I've made,
Well,
so I
that's-
thank you for noticing the new mascara.
Hey, did you get new mascara? Coming up later in the program. She's my wife, by the way, so I just want to make sure. For those of you that didn't know that and think, oh, this guy's kind of creepy. Coming up later in the program, we've got a gentleman by the name of Mackenzie Kyle. He's the author of a book called The Performance Principle. We'll be chatting with him in just a bit. Also, you ready for a quote for today, Heidi?
Absolutely.
George Adair is the one that said, "Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear." And I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Seems like a lot of the things that you want to do, well, it's kind of scary because you're going, oh, do I really want to try? What if I fail? Well, according to him, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. We've got some special things going on today. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you know anyone else that shops online? Come on, it's 2017. Most people buy at least some things online every month. How would you like to save money and earn money from that shopping? There's an interesting new program that allows you to sign up for free. No credit card needed. Then you can save money when you buy online at many of the major sites. Plus, there's a way to earn money, too. Watch the video with all of the details at radiosavings.com. Save money and earn money. Radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, August the 9th. I've got Wednesday abbreviated really weirdly here. WEDN. Why would I have left the N? I don't know why I did that. It's Veep Day, though, today. So a day to celebrate our vice presidents. Who was our first vice president? Quick. Do you remember?
I don't know.
John Adams. How did you not know that?
Oh.
All right.
I knew he was the second president.
Who's our current president? Quick.
Mike Pence.
Okay. See, I knew you'd get something right. Today is also International Day of the World's Indigenous People. Okay. And it's Perseid Meteor Showers Day. So
I don't
apparently-
know what.
I think there's
Perseid meteor
yeah, something like that. Perseid. Perseid.
Okay.
Our son would probably be very disappointed to know that I have no clue, because I'm sure he's probably even told me about that specific thing. So I really need to pay closer attention. Coming up here in a bit, we've got some more special things like our Brain on Drugs, our Scoop of the Day, and much, much more, all on the way.
John and Heidi.
Wouldn't it be great to have a new car and to always have a new car? You can with lowerlease.com. We teach you how to get the best lease deals available. We have clients that have used our system to get a brand new $25,000 vehicle for just $250 per month. You pick the car you want and let us show you how to get the lease payment you want too. This is a proven system that has people driving new cars with no money down. Sign and drive a new car with a lower lease payment at lowerlease.com.
John and Heidi.
The numbers are in, Heidi. Death Valley, California set a record in July with the hottest average month in the history of the Western Hemisphere. Daytime temperatures were 120, with one day at 127.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it's a dry heat. You know, so it'll kill you in a very dry way. So Death Valley, that's just not a real inviting.
No, it's really not.
You know, it's not like, hey, here's a postcard. Come and join us in Death Valley. It's a great place to die quickly, apparently. Coming up, we've got your Brain on Drugs.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your Brain on Drugs, kind of, sort of. I actually kind of like this story, and I think it's somewhat sad, but it says, be careful, music lovers. 45-year-old David Edward Brady has been arrested of being accused of taking more than 1,000 doses of drugs, but it's in quotes because it was fake drugs, to a music festival in Tennessee. Arrested on a similar charge at a music festival in Arkansas in 2015. The quantity of bonus drugs was much smaller back then. According to an arrest warrant, police found about 1,000 hits of fake LSD, 37 pills that were designed to look as though they were Molly, which is a synthetic drug that alters your mood, 22 bags of fake mushrooms, 20 bags made to look like cocaine, and incense sticks made to look like black tar heroin.
And he was probably making all kinds of money selling this
Listen
stuff.
to what was going on. Coffee County Sheriff James Sherrill says Mr. Brady was charged with possession of counterfeit controlled substances. Here's my favorite line in the whole story. Brady told police, "I'm doing God's work by selling fake drugs."
Yeah, you are.
But here's the thing. Honestly, there's a part of me that says, how cool is that? Because these people are thinking they're going to get, and they probably even have some sort of reaction because their brain was thinking that it was a drug, but he was giving them something that was not harmful to them. And I was like,
okay, I'm sorry. But,
all right, he ripped them off.
So these people buy it, and if you've never done them before and you think, hey, you have this euphoric reaction to a fake drug, and then you go out and you buy more.
Oh yeah, that's true.
From somebody who does have real drugs.
And you're like, wow, that second one was really bad. Yeah, the first one was nothing more than Skittles. All right, kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. We're going to start on the big screen where The Dark Tower battled very poor reviews over the weekend, but still did a pretty decent job in the box office. They found a way to debut at number 1 over the weekend. They made $19.5 million, Heidi. The Dark Tower. Have you seen the previews for that? Or
I have not.
You even know what we're talking about there?
No.
Are you even paying attention to me now?
I am.
Okay.
But I have not seen the previews to that. I don't even know what movie.
She's
what
multitasking.
You're talking about.
It's called The Dark Tower. Also, and they came in number 1. They edged out all of the others. And now for the little screen, I believe, American actress Amber Heard. I had to Google to see who she was. It says American
I don't know
actress.
who she is.
Says she debuted on Friday Night Lights. That was a TV show way back in the day. Anyway, she and her tech billionaire boyfriend Elon Musk, which I did know who he was.
I don't know
they
who that
broke
is
up.
either.
He's the one that's doing the Tesla cars and doing all this, smarty smart pants stuff. Anyway, they broke up after just over a year together. Amber is 31, by the way. Elon is 46. They first were linked last July. So there you go. From the big screen and the little screen, and it's brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Are you trying to lose weight? I know the struggle. I've been overweight much of my life. I recently started the easiest weight loss program I've ever tried, and it's working great. I've lost almost 30 pounds, but I'm hearing amazing stories from others that have tried it too. One that's already lost 20 pounds, and another that's been doing this longer than I have that's lost almost 100 pounds. Want to try it for free? You can at pinkdrinkfree.com. Request your free sample right now at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com. Now, your scoop of the day. From Seattle, Washington, cops were called there to a report of a man crashing his car into a parking garage, which that's always kind of concerning. Upon arrival, they figured, okay, this guy's drunk. Well, smelling around, no alcohol. So they thought, okay, he's on drugs. And they start searching the car, and, well, we don't find any drugs. So why did this guy smash into a parking garage? Well, his excuse for the week, this is the excuse of the week. He told officers, well, I took 5 generic Viagra pills. But the bottle says to only take 1. Okay, what were his
did that
plans?
have to do with...
Apparently, they were generic. They weren't real. They were, so he was under the influence of something. I'm just wondering what his plans were for the evening. And it says take 1. I'm going to take 5 of these. Police said they're waiting for blood test results so they know what to charge him with, other than stupidity. I guess that's not illegal. So
maybe he drives a manual transmission and just grabbed the wrong shifter.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. All I know is that guy had a problem. Hey, an update to a story. So many times we read these stories and we never find out what happens. And that's so sad to me.
Yeah.
So glad to have an update on a story we had a while back. I don't know if you're going to remember. I don't have all the details on the names and stuff, but you're going to remember as soon as I say what it was. A Kansas man who robbed a bank and then just sat down in the lobby and told the police, I'd rather go to jail than go home and be with my wife. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe?
Yeah.
So, well, there's an update on his story.
Okay.
And you're going to love this. The judge handed down his sentence. Sounds like something Judge Judy would do, by the way.
House arrest.
Yes. 6 months of house arrest.
That's what I would do, too.
I think that's awesome. There's a little part of me that just danced in my brain when that happened. I was like, oh, that is so funny. I'd rather go to jail than go home to my wife. Oh, yeah? Well, 6 months later. She can't leave either. All right, from Vermont, this is kind of a cool story. A kid once caught a fish this big. No, it was a big fish. 10-year-old reeled in a giant carp, and it was a record contender. Before he even got it ashore, Chase Stokes' fish did indeed set a world record in Vermont. A world record in Vermont? So no, it'll be a state record in Vermont. I think I might have read that wrong. Weighed 33.25 pounds. That's a pretty big fish.
Yeah, it is.
33-pounder. The newspaper there reports that the carp was weighed at a bait and tackle shop in New York in April. The Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department made the record official last month. The fish was quarter pound bigger than a previous record holder, by the way. Stokes, who now is 11, he was 10 when he reeled this in, said that he likes to fish for carp because they're, quote, hard to find. When I was a kid, they were easy to find.
Oh my gosh, they were everywhere.
Yeah, but they were hard to catch because, they would break off lines. We just needed, stronger line, apparently. Anyway, Sean Good from the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department called the boy a fishing maniac. He said Stokes has landed the most trophy fish in Vermont's Master Angler program. So that's cool. He's only 11, and he's already
that is cool.
Setting records. And finally, from Hudson, Florida, Robert Trigger. Keep that name in mind. His name is Trigger. Walked into a Dollar General store with a .25 caliber handgun.
Are you kidding?
No,
you're going to rob a Dollar General?
I don't understand that either. Had that tucked into his belt. Well, it came loose as he was walking through the store, fell to the ground, and somehow a round went into his foot.
Oh.
Yeah, the gun went off.
So he was just concealed carrying. He wasn't trying to rob the place.
I don't know if he was trying to rob it or not, but he left the gun on the floor as he limped to his car, was driven to a nearby hospital by a friend. End of story, right? No, not quite. Police checked on him, and they discovered, hey, you've got felony arrests dating back to 2009.
Oh.
Now he's facing charges of possessing a firearm as a felon, which is illegal.
Yeah, you can't have one.
You can't do that. So, and why would you?
And maybe he was going to rob the Dollar General.
I just don't understand why you'd do that. Give me all your money. Here's $8. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Talk about a trip back in time.
80s in the Sand is in beautiful Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Featuring awesome bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, Howard Jones, and many more.
Plus, you'll get a chance to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many others.
You can book your trip back to the 80s now at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person at 80sinthesand.com.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
That's 80sinthesand.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us today, Mackenzie Kyle. He's the author of a book called The Performance Principle, and we're going to be chatting with him today about businesses maybe giving their employees little benefits and things like that, and how to make sure that you're doing things the right way. So let's get things started off the right way and say hello to Mackenzie Kyle. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
So I was kind of perusing through your book here, The Performance Principle. I think this is a cool idea. And one of the things that I was reading in here is talking about how when businesses kind of get themselves in trouble by treating all employees the same and just having like a blanket, Christmas bonuses that are same for everybody. And that's not always necessarily a good idea. Let's talk about some ideas of things businesses can do that might be the right way to treat their employees.
One of the things that I find is that it's important to look at specific needs or desires of individual employees. We have a tendency to have a checklist of things that we do at the holiday time, whether it's a holiday bonus or we do a big holiday office party, and that isn't reinforcing for many people. The large gathering of crowds or the chance or not the chance to connect on an individual basis is something that people almost find a little bit punishing. It becomes an obligation rather than a reward at the end of the year. And at the same time, although most people like getting a cash reward, if it's not tied to any specific behavior or performance, it can actually be a bit of a demotivator to people. They don't understand why they're getting it. They don't understand why other people get it. What we need to do is think about customizing the rewards that we give at holiday time to make sure that it's appropriate for the individual, whether it's specific individual recognition or whether it's additional time off. It's often not the traditional things that people find motivating.
And I know we're a little ways from Christmas, but we're talking about Christmas bonuses. And every time I think of Christmas bonuses, I think of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There's a great example in that movie about how a Christmas bonus backfired, or I guess maybe in that movie it was more of a lack of Christmas bonus backfiring, and he ended up in the Jelly of the Month Club, the gift that keeps on giving all year long.
Yeah.
The problem was there was an expectation that was set, and because that's something they'd always done, and then all of a sudden they made changes. So when those expectations were set, it made it funny for the movie, but in real life, people would probably quit their job, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, and that's a great example of where there's an expectation that bonus was going to be there. There was never any clear indication of why, except that it had always been there. So when suddenly it's not there, and in real situations, it could happen because of the financial situation of the company or a variety of very legitimate reasons. Suddenly there's a huge demotivator because I didn't get what I was expecting. So that one's kind of a reverse example, but it's a great one. And that whole question around expectations, I think, is the root of the problem. Because when we have expectations that aren't met, that's when we tend to be unhappy. And so being clear about what the expectations should be and how to reward those, I think, is key to making sure that people are happy at Christmas time. Or, realistically, the rest of the year as well.
Again, visiting right now with Mackenzie Kyle. He's the author of The Performance Principle. This is a book that came out a little over a year ago now. Now, Mackenzie, when you were putting this book together, did you have somebody in mind? Was this specifically for, like, bosses, or was it more for employees? Or who would you say this book was really kind of geared toward? Maybe for everybody?
Well, I think my intention was in the beginning to make sure that it was for both. I think the responsibility for looking at managing performance and making sure that the rewards are aligned with what the overall objectives are lies more strongly with management, but I think it has to be something that's taken on by both the team members and the manager. So the idea was to try and drill into what is it that makes people or motivates people or drives them, and how do you work with that? So trying to have a basic framework for understanding about what motivates specific individuals and trying to align that with what the company is trying to achieve overall.
And Mackenzie, there's probably a lot of people listening right now that, love their job and do a darn good job at it. And of course, a bonus, financial bonus would be nice, but even more importantly, in some cases, maybe just, some positive feedback, letting them know that you love that they're there and they're doing a good job, or some time off. It doesn't have to be financial, does it?
Yeah, as much as we think about money as being important in driving things, there are a lot of studies out there that show, and certainly my personal experience, and I think most of our experiences, would be that money is a satisfier more than it is a motivator or a driver. It's very nice to have, and most people won't say no to more of it. But in terms of being engaged and feeling kind of that motivation on a moment-to-moment, day-by-day basis, a lot of the times money is almost the farthest thing from people's minds. It is that recognition, that invitation to provide input, which gets them engaged. And also one thing that people don't always think about is information back about how an individual is doing, how the team is doing, and how the organization is doing. People find that motivating as well, that feedback that gives them a chance to tie what they do to a broader result. So money is good, but a lot of the day-to-day, week-to-week stuff is more about things like feedback and information that keeps people motivated and engaged.
Again, our guest today is Mackenzie Kyle, author of The Performance Principle. It's available right now. Where can we find this?
Probably the simplest place is on Amazon.com. And there's also, I have a website, which is MackenzieKyle.com, where you can click through there and get a copy of the book as well.
Well, Mackenzie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Again, Mackenzie Kyle, and the book is called The Performance Principle. And, for bosses out there, it's always good to know that you can let your employees know how much you appreciate them, and it doesn't have to be financial. And sometimes it's tough to do that, to let them know financially. I know there are a lot of bosses that would love to pay their people more, but they just don't have the money. In the book, you find out that it's not always financial, but make sure you at least let them know how much they mean to you. And I think that's a really good thing to do. You can always afford to pay more attention to the little details and let people know how much you respect them. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you know anyone else that shops online? Come on, it's 2017. Most people buy at least some things online every month. How would you like to save money and earn money from that shopping? There's an interesting new program that allows you to sign up for free. No credit card needed. Then you can save money when you buy online at many of the major sites. Plus, there's a way to earn money, too. Watch the video with all of the details at radiosavings.com. Save money and earn money. Radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Honey never spoils.
I knew that.
Yeah,
You've actually told me.
Yeah, they found that way. Some from back in ancient Egypt that was still good. Although it's good to spoil your honey. I'm going to spoil my honey. How can I spoil
Really?
you, honey?
Are you?
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
About half of all Americans are on a diet on any given day. Yeah, I'm kind of. Are you? And so am I. Well, that means there's two other people that are not. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
A hard-boiled egg will spin, but a soft-boiled egg will not. Okay.
Oh.
A soft-boiled egg? Does that mean like one that's not boiled?
I don't know.
I think that. Why did they just call it a soft egg? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Avocados are poisonous to birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so keep the birds out of the guacamole. Couple of fun facts right there brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Are you trying to lose weight? I know the struggle. I've been overweight much of my life. I recently started the easiest weight loss program I've ever tried, and it's working great. I've lost almost 30 pounds, but I'm hearing amazing stories from others that have tried it too. One that's already lost 20 pounds, and another that's been doing this longer than I have that's lost almost 100 pounds. Want to try it for free? You can at pinkdrinkfree.com. Request your free sample right now at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. A Connecticut boy has got an unpleasant surprise when he woke up to find a skunk in his bed. Yeah.
Oh.
Hamden, Connecticut, 13-year-old woke up in his upstairs bedroom with a skunk that had climbed into his bed. Police say the skunk got into the home when he climbed through a hole in a trash can, and then the resident brought the trash can into the home.
Oh, funny.
Not clear how the skunk found its way into the boy's bed, but nobody was happy about the outcome. Hamden Animal Control responded to a call at about 6 a.m. on the 25th of July. Police say an animal control officer arrived to the poignant smell of a skunk, which emanated throughout the home. The family got the animal out of the house on their own. So there you go. Stinky.
I wonder how you would get that smell out of your house.
You probably don't. You got to just burn it down.
You just got to move.
Honestly, I don't know how. Don't burn your house down if you get a skunk.
If homeowners insurance covers something like that, because you'd have to have a team come in.
Yeah, you'd have to. You'd think so. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. Coming up, we've got some weird news, which I guess that kind of qualified as weird news too, but we've got some weirder news on the way.
John and Heidi.
Wouldn't it be great to have a new car and to always have a new car? You can with lowerlease.com. We teach you how to get the best lease deals available. We have clients that have used our system to get a brand new $25,000 vehicle for just $250 per month. You pick the car you want and let us show you how to get the lease payment you want too. This is a proven system that has people driving new cars with no money down. Sign and drive a new car with a lower lease payment at lowerlease.com.
Now, some weird news on a Wednesday. Take a listen to this from Australia. A teenager went for a swim in Melbourne at a beach there and emerged with his feet covered in blood.
Oh.
And it's really stumped marine experts. Sam Kaizaya, his legs felt sore after playing a game of football on Saturday, so he thought, I'm going to go soak him at the beach. 30 minutes later, the 16-year-old walked out of the water with his feet and ankles covered and what looked like hundreds of little pinholes that were bleeding profusely.
Oh.
Upon returning home, his parents promptly took him to the hospital. His dad said the staff had no idea what kind of creature would have caused these injuries. Jared went back to the beach the following night with a pool net full of meat and captured the animals that he believes could have been responsible. He took a video of dozens of little tiny bug-like creatures chomping on chunks of meat. What is really clear is that these little things love meat. Okay. Jeff Weir,
you wouldn't have felt?
Apparently not.
Anything
Dolphin
biting?
Research Institute there believes the teen may have been attacked by a crustacean called amphipods, which usually eat decomposing plants and animal scraps. So there you go.
Gross.
They're not quite sure what it is.
Had some smelly feet.
I don't know what's going on. All I know is I've got a link to this if you're interested in seeing what these little dudes look like, and I've got that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Weird news brought to you by lowerlease.com. Now your moment of duh. From Abilene, Texas. A 20-year-old there was armed with a gun at his apartment complex. He argued with his roommate, and then he tied him up and demanded some money. The robber, the 20-year-old robber, the roommate, this is not a good roommate, by the way. He fell asleep. Well, the other roommate managed to get free around 4 a.m. and call the police. The robbery suspect was still asleep when the police arrived. So, there you go.
Takes all kinds to make this world go round, honey.
Yes. Argued with his roommate. I'm just making sure. Was it? Yeah. So it was a guy. He robbed his own roommate. Why would you think you're going to get away with that?
Can't ID the guy. I don't know who it was.
Looks an awful lot like Mike, who lives here. How tall was he? Same height as Mike. What did he sound like? Exactly like Mike. Was he wearing a mask? Yeah, he was wearing a mask that looked just like Mike. As a matter of fact, it might have been Mike. I'm just not sure what his plan was. It made no sense to me. But then again, that's why we call it our moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Talk about a trip back in time.
80s in the Sand is in beautiful Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Featuring awesome bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, Howard Jones, and many more.
Plus, you'll get a chance to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many others.
You can book your trip back to the 80s now at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person at 80sinthesand.com.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
That's 80sinthesand.com. Hey, would you like to buy an island, Heidi?
Yes.
$1.5 million. And it comes with about 30 goats. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Bob Bradshaw from the
so
Daily
you don't have
Times.
to mow your island.
55-acre island listed for $1.5 million US, down from the original asking price of $15 million 10 years ago.
Does it have a house on it and plumbing and all of that stuff?
It's called Goat Island. They've owned it since 1956. They say they don't know how the goats ended up on the island, but there's some... Sometime after his grandfather, Aaron Bradshaw, became the owner, the island around eastern shore of Maryland has been used for centuries as a natural livestock pen. The property is accessible only by boats, but it does have electricity. Zoning laws would allow to build 2 structures on the island. So you could build 2 homes, one for you and one for the goats.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is just kind of a neat story. And first of all, I just got to say, I still don't quite understand how they're going to make money doing this. But a father and daughter duo is going to raise some money for a good cause. I'll read the story, and then we got to talk about this, because hopefully somebody can explain to me how this is going to make money. A dad and his daughter are preparing to Facebook Live 6 episodes of their road trip to Los Angeles to help raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which is a great thing to do. 22-year-old Kara Morin and her dad, Jim, have done this before. They posted portions of a 2015 road trip to Los Angeles on YouTube, in which they were heard debating topics like which 6 songs should have been hits. Anyway, they started this Monday, so they've been doing this a couple days already, and they're doing this again to raise money for the hospital that helped Kara's aunt. So they're raising money by live streaming, Facebook live streaming. But that's my question. How does that raise money?
I guess maybe it's kind of like YouTube, where you get so many people watching the live streams, and then there's ads, and they make money from...
Okay. Well, or are they on there doing like a telethon? Hey, if you'd like to call in now.
Yeah.
Back to the 6 songs that should have been hits.
I will not be taking part. I can tell you that.
I'm fascinated by this kind of thing, and it's neat that they're finding a way to take, because they've got some little Facebook fame, and they're finding a way to do something with that Facebook fame, which is cool. I love to see people who, like we talked the other day about some celebrities that, they do really good things. We were talking about Ashton Kutcher, and, he's done very well for himself, but he does so many good things for others, and he's not looking for praise. It's not like he's taunting that, saying, hey, I'm going to do this if you do that. A lot of the time, that's the ones that I like, where they're doing something and nobody even knows it. And then you find out, you're like, wow, all these years they've been doing that? Why didn't we know that? Well, because they were doing it for the right reason. That's why we didn't know that.
Right.
But I think this is cool. They found a way to take their little 15 minutes of fame and say, hey, let's do something good for a hospital that did something good for my aunt. So there you go. I've got a link to this on our Facebook page if you want to know more. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Good news brought to you by 80sinthesand.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
John
Time now for the bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have a special guest joining us right now, Jackson Colby. He's with Tandoor Chef, and we're going to be chatting about National Mustard Day. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good. How are you doing today, John?
Very good. And Mustard Day was last week, wasn't it?
It was August 5th, but
August
it's
5th.
still a food celebration that we should really take note of.
And this is one of those things that, you know, there's a national day for just about everything, and we like to celebrate those little mundane, silly little things as they come up. And mustard is a pretty darn important thing. We use that on a lot of different recipes. And Tandoor Chef, you guys use it in quite a few of the things that you guys make.
Yeah, it's one of the main ingredients in Indian food. Actually, it's something that Indians have been using for years, and it's the mustard seed is primarily what we use in our recipes. When you cook it like in an oil, it pops and it really has a lot of flavor. It's not just necessarily like, you know, the condiment that we use like on hot dogs and what have you here in the States, but that's kind of a smoother version that is made out of the powder from the mustard seed. But it's rich in calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium. It can help with arthritis and weight loss, and it has nutrients that we need for healthy skin and hair.
That's cool. Now, National Mustard Day, has that National Mustard Day, has that been around for quite a while, or is this kind of a new thing?
It's been around for a long time. There's actually a National Mustard Museum. If you go online, you can check out mustardmuseum.com, and it's a fascinating place. It has everything from, you know, the yellow style mustards to the kind of the Dijons and everything else that it's celebrating, as well as just mustard seed and what have you. But it has all sorts of gadgets. It has different ways to dispense it. It's kind of a neat thing. But that Mustard Day kind of came out of the museum and a couple of other things out there. But it's been celebrated for quite some time.
Well, again, for those of us that want to celebrate, we can celebrate a few days late because it was officially on Saturday, the 5th. But we're celebrating it today, and this would be a good day to celebrate. Now, with Tandoor Chef, when people are looking for the Tandoor Chef items, where can they find those, Jackson?
Well, you can find it at Lomar, right on Sycamore Drive there in Sioux Falls. So find us here on our website at TandoorChef.com, and if you go to TandoorChef.com and sign up for our e-newsletter, you can actually win Tandoor Chef for a month. So that's something that's kind of cool and fun to do. So you can get this restaurant quality Indian food right into your own home and not have to pay for it, which is always a benefit.
Absolutely. And they do that right at TandoorChef.com?
Yes, you can.
Awesome. Well, Jackson, thank you so much for celebrating Mustard Day with us.
It's been fun, and if you want a few recipes, like I said, just go to TandoorChef.com. We have a bunch of recipes that use mustard seed in it, and it can really help you with your cholesterol and other things, too. So thanks for celebrating with me, and let's put some mustard on that.
There you go. That sounds good. And again, Mustard Day was actually on Saturday, but since we don't do a show on Saturday, we scheduled it for today. We figured we'd celebrate a few days late, but it's always you still got to celebrate these things. You know, you don't want Mustard Day to go by without celebrating. So get out there and celebrate one way or another. And a good way to celebrate would be with Tandoor Chef. They've got some great recipes that include mustard as well. And again, you can find all of the details about them at TandoorChef.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.